Hey everyone, I wanted to make this video in real time and tell you what just happened tonight. In my 5 full years of being a nomad and living full time, stealth parking and boondocking and camping in almost every state and in several cities and such, I've only ever had the knock once. And that was in California, and it was my own fault because I had parked in an area that you weren't allowed to. I was actually on the road where the beach was, and an officer knocked really calmly. I got up and spoke with him, and he was just like, "I'm sorry, you have to move." There was no big deal. And I've parked in a lot of places. I'm really careful. I am a solo female. I have my teenage daughter. It makes me have to be that much more conscientious and attentive over where we decide we're going to park and sleep for the night. And so I'm always very careful. Well, tonight I just got our second knock. And you're not going to believe what happened. I have talked to so many people and I've heard the stories from so many nomads about how security or police officers or managers of different stores or, neighborhoods, wherever they might be stealth camped or boondocking, will come over to their rigs, van, car, RV, and just like pound on the door, and that just creates this fearful feeling. And, you have that adrenaline spike and you're scared to go over to the door. And I mean, if I heard that, I'd be like grabbing my keys and going up to the cab and just driving away. That's frightening. And it just causes, that kind of aggression just causes a problem immediately. And, instead of diffusing a situation and making things calm, you're terrifying the people who are inside, whatever the case may be. What happened to us was we pulled into a new city. We had never been in that area before. And we saw a couple of truck stops, but they were pretty filled up. And I wasn't really sure where to go. We kept driving and we found a Walmart. Pulled into the Walmart and there were about 8 rigs. There were vans, cars, travel trailers, and several RVs. They were all parked up in one section of the parking lot, which is a pretty good indication that, you can park in that area. So we parked and got ready for bed and just, we're relaxing and we're almost asleep when we got our second knock ever. And I was pretty impressed because it was a soft knock. It was not a pounding. It wasn't, aggressive or fierce. It was just a knock. And I really wondered what it was. In fact, I kind of thought it might have been one of the other RVers or other van lifers, maybe needing something, but I wasn't sure. And again, just being really cautious, I went to the window and I looked outside and there was a man standing out there. The minute he saw me, he just took like 3 or 4 steps back away from my rig. And he said, "Sorry to bother you. In accordance with the city ordinance, I have to tell you that you can't park here." And he said, "I'm going around and telling everyone they have to leave." He said, "But I have this for you." And this is what he handed me. I'm just going to say managers, store personnel, owners, anyone who has a place where, nomads might come and stay. If you have a city ordinance against that, or maybe, you don't want to have it, this was the coolest thing I mean, it was so cool. It gives the number of the ordinance there in the front and says, here, let me read it for you. "We apologize for the inconvenience Per the ordinance code for the city, overnight dry camping is not permitted. We hope you enjoy your stay here and have listed nearby RV campgrounds and BLM land for your convenience. On the other side of that card, there are a bunch of RV parks and phone numbers, and then area of BLM land with directions how to get there. That was impressive. I mean, just so impressive. Could you imagine if anybody who needs to tell a nomad to just, hey, move on, if they were to just knock with some respect and some calmness and hand them one of these? So it was still a good night, and we are set in our new place, and we are going to go to sleep. I would love to hear your stories. If you've ever had the knock, put them down in the comments and let us know. Was it aggressive? Was the person polite? Did a situation escalate or feel uncomfortable? Did they happen to have a little card directing you to somewhere else that you could stay? Okay, well, we're going to get some sleep. Good night.